Well, we're gonna do this video, goddammit. Only because it's worth talking about, because the amount of responses is quite a bit, over 150 overall responses from the US Mid did not lie video, but this is just as bad. And that's of course regarding this thing right here, the 2 coin reverse proof Morgan and Peace dollar, which I think is a hell of a product. These things are flat out gorgeous, and again, the product looks phenomenal. This looks phenomenal. I have no problem whatsoever about that. I just wanted to, first of all, get that out there, is to let each and every single one of you know that I love this product. Okay, I have no qualms. I have nothing negative to say about this 2 coin set. I think it's the belle of the ball for 2023, and we're just going to leave it at that. But I wanted to take a moment to address some of the comments. I actually have my laptop sitting right here next to me, so I'm just going to read away. Feel free to go in the video, take a look for yourselves, just so I'm not joshing you guys or lying about what people are saying. But I wanted to take some time to address it. People, they say what they want to say. Okay, they have their own, their own opinion about everything. The same way that I had my own opinion. That's what makes the First Amendment great, right? Is that we can have whatever we need to say. We could throw it out there in a public forum. But I, first and foremost, I'm not a keyboard warrior. I'm the motherfucker that puts his face on film and tells you like it is. All right. While a vast majority of other folks on here that, if they decide that they wanted to talk smack, I'm like, great. I don't know who you are. You don't know me. I don't know you. But if that's your first impression of me, so be it. That's more of that more says more about you as a person than it does about me. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say that. Kind of like the fine print to the whole thing. But yeah, I guess we're just going to start from the top here. Happy Hippo 4664, because I had talked about how I disagreed with them doing the reverse proof 2 coin set each and every single year. It's like, they saw the money. They were successful in selling out these things at $185 a pop, which in my humble opinion is way too damn much for what you're getting here. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. And as someone had mentioned, yeah, it's not even 1 ounce of silver in each coin. Yeah, I'm like, it is what it is. It's meant to reproduce the likeness of the original Morgan and Peace dollars, which were not 1 ounce of silver. So Mr. Hungry Happy Hippo over here says, disagree. Would like reverse proofs every year. Then again, I never sold any coins I have, and don't look to rip people off by buying and reselling at an obscene profit. Well, first and foremost, Happy Hippo, what do you construe as obscene profit? Because last time I checked, we pay profit on every damn thing that we pay for in this world, right? The tube of toothpaste that we buy at Walmart that cost originally 25 cents to make, my friend, they're selling for $3-4 a tube. So, on a smaller scale, it's not readily known. But when it comes to these collectibles where you're capped off at 5 per person per household, making a little bit of money, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, I never said that through the course of this whole thing, selling something to where if it's not going to make you profit, then, blah, blah, blah. I did not point that out. I simply pointed out that they ruined the exclusivity of the product by deciding, hey, we're just going to go ahead and bilk this thing to death each and every single year until it becomes, nothingness. It's going to diminish the specialty of the Morgan design and the Peace design, which in my humble opinion, the Peace design is one of kind of like my top 10 most gorgeous US Mint designs through the course of history. So, fine, you disagree, whatever, but, it's a very short-sighted statement. I did not talk about reselling as being the basis of why they should not reproduce this. It's just that never came up in the conversation. So apparently that person either chose to just put blinders on and had to say what they had to say. That's that. Lynn Eisenhower, 2571. I think I got that right. Lynn, if not, my apologies. I thought 2024 was going to be an enhanced reverse proof version of this set. No? Question mark. Not that I'm aware of. Now, things can happen at any point. They could add some sort of enhanced reverse edition to this next year. We won't know about it probably until either the end of this year, which we're coming mightily close to that, or to kick off next year. Okay? So we'll see. I don't know. But if they did, I mean, what does that say? That they're willing to release this, charge its customers a ridiculous amount of money, and then what? And then what happens after that? Because the mintages thus far, I think they're okay. The mintages are just fine. 250,000 for the reverse proof set, I think, is an ideal number. If it was a standalone, all right. Personally, if they're going to do the regular proofs and the uncirculated coins next year, they ought to just leave it at that and not do the reverse proofs anymore. Because again, this is a very exclusive looking set. And, much like I don't know if you guys remember a couple years back when they released the Silver Eagle had just had a changeover from Type 1 to Type 2. So they changed over the reverses. They had what they called a designer set that they had released with both coins in there, but it was like a specialty type of strike. I think it was probably a reverse proof. But they only did it for 1 year. All right, they didn't rehash it. They didn't, bring it back from the dead and decide to do it again because it was such a hot seller. By the way, that happened all under David Ryder's tenure as the mint director. Okay, I just want to go ahead and point that out. Rip Van Smith. I guess if you can't immediately flip it for at least double the issue price, then it's not worth collecting. Again, I didn't say that. I did not say that. If a company, an entity, okay, the U.S. Mint, while it's government backed, is a company in itself that's taking part of the capitalistic way that we do business. They make money, right? They sell product. They accept credit card payments for such things. Then, in exchange for a good or service, then that kind of makes you, part of this world where we could all be business owners. The U.S. Mint is a business. They sell product in exchange for money. And no, I did not say anything about reselling for a profit. Again, that never came up in that video that I did the other day. I just said, it ruins the exclusivity when you're charging $185 for a 2-coin set at a 250,000 product limit or mintage or however you want to construe that, and then turn around and say, oh, whoa, we're going to do this every single year at the same price with the same product, and we're going to just be doing the same. And that's how life is going to be. Everything's just going to be same, no change. Life is boring, blah, 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 this and that. And I'm like, I don't want to see these coins with 2024 dates, 2025, 26. You get the big picture. I don't want to see that. I don't know. UDUPLR said U.S. Mint went downhill when they stopped selling Lincoln sets. I guess they went downhill, right? I don't know. That's a weird one. Keith Sterling, 86.95. They could not even deliver quality on previous mint sets. That I will agree with. The previous Morgan series back in 2021 is a true testament to that. The quarter series was very bad this time. Maria Tallchief. Philadelphia put out same stuff as always. Coin nicks, scratches, and other marks. Denver was almost as bad as Philadelphia. Now the gloves kind of come off when we're talking business strike coins that were intended to be circulated. Um, I know everyone has these I guess ideas that because we're living in such a high tech advanced world that the coins should be virtually perfect. But I think I think we tend to kind of forget a little bit about the overall production process. Like when these things are struck in mint, all right, it's not like you have some little old lady with white gloves sitting there catching the coins as after every strike, and then they put it over here, to kind of like preserve, the quality of the coins. It's a high production, high volume type of affair, right? They're going to continue to crank these things out. They go into a large ballistic hopper bag thing, and all the coins they make contact with each other, and that's just the way that that the production is with these things. I tend to not put any stock on business strike coins because who really cares about how a coin looks and how it grades out? There should be no leading emphasis on grading any new coins anyway. So why does it matter? I mean, just spend it, just use it, collect it, put it in an album, and enjoy it for what it is. That's my personal feelings on that. Harry Bond 1485. I agree, Sean. Thank you. G Volker 1108. That's the box they gave you for those coins. Unbelievable. I know. Other countries are doing fancier type of packaging. This is all cardboard paper source. These all the product just about comes from a tree. You know, they could have done a little bit better with the presentation, and they haven't done so in a few decades. As far as like really ramping up the look of them. Volker even said you should see my 1995 premium silver mint set. The box is beautiful. It is. I've seen it in person. They're gorgeous. To go along with the coins, set snug in their resting place. That's crazy for such nice coins. Yeah, I agree. I think just overall rise in cost in raw product that creates like packaging and stuff. They have to watch. Because God forbid they charge $215 for the same set because they elected to put one piece of plastic in there. Yeah, don't want to do that. Shannon Smith, 8914, our lovely panel member here. Well, since I am poor, I couldn't afford them anyway, so I guess it answers my question about trying to get them. LOL. Yeah, see, I mean, the price is prohibitive. Even for the poor folks like Shannon Smith. That's... yeah, I feel you, brother. All right. Matt Aceta 4026. I agree with all of you, but maybe release these RP every 50 years, or like everyone here suggests, stop it this here and now in 2023. Incidentally, I ordered two also, and one of the Morgans has 3 scratches on her face that is visible without magnification. I called the mint this morning and was told they are out of stock and it could take weeks before I get a replacement. Yeah, that's kind of been the trend with these things. Because it's reverse proof, the highest points of the coin, the devices, sit up higher. So, I'd like to personally think that the production of these coins is a little bit more white gloved in its quality control than anything else they make. But there's nothing that prevents them from getting those little fine scratches like on the cheek of Lady Liberty, because it's the highest point of the coin. When you do have that, it's a downer. I noticed on one of the coins that had a nick right on, like right below the earlobe area, which stinks. I had no plan on grading it or anything like that. I want to enjoy the set as it is. I want to take the lens out and look at them. They're that gorgeous. I think they're cool. And by the way, I'm sick, guys. So, if I sound a little wheezing and raspy and all that, you guys know. I just got a cold within the last 24 hours. Anyways, David Corder. David Corder's been around for a minute. I totally agree, Sean, 100%. When the new mint director took over at the mint, he Ventress Gibson, by the way, very nice lady, said that the quality was going to improve 100%. Then the 2023 coins came out, and I was stoked to get them since California is the last to receive anything that is worthy. Anyhow, the coins I finally got were total crapola, toilet scum. I sent all the way across the country to get some classic coins just to have a good coin, and now I don't anticipate worthy coins from the mint. I'll stick with older ones that have more appealing qualities. Same here, you know. I don't buy nearly as much from the mint as I used to. All I did was the Morian pieces here. Last year, I didn't buy anything that I could remember in 2022. 2023, I got these things. So I wanted to see how they followed up, you know, kind of like the encore. I thought it was the encore, but no, they're going to continue to do it in 2024 and beyond. So there you go. Jeff Shaw, 4039. I agree this should have been a one-time deal, and they should have had nicer premium packaging. All right. Jeff Zen 5779, $199 on eBay. These things are not going anywhere. And they're unavailable at the Mint website. They finally went unavailable, I think 2 days ago, something like that. And $199, it means that people are still able to get it for a very small, negligible premium above what the issue price is. And I'm going to say that it's a gorgeous product. It doesn't nearly mean as much since they're going to be doing this act again next year. They're going to do an Act 2, Act 3, Act 4. Jeff Zen also said, right on, Sean, I got sucked in for 3. Once people caught wind that they were going to redo this for next year, you know what ended up happening? About a week or two before it released, they had sent out emails to let everybody know, go ahead and double check your payment, because they hadn't taken the money out of the account yet. That was on Saturday. That was like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. As kind of a reminder, if you wanted to modify your subscription quantities, you could do so. A lot of people went full max on it, which is 5 sets. What ended up happening is that people went in and dropped their quantities down to like 2 or 3 or maybe 1. It was a lot of buzz. It was a lot of things that had been talked about on Facebook, on something even came up on Reddit, and I usually don't go on Reddit that much. It's even been talked about on the forum chat pages. Yeah, people were really down on it once they found out that they were going to do this again next year. They dropped all their quantities. So that's why on release day, there was an abundance of them available that you could just waltz right into the US Mint website and buy 1 or 2 if you wanted to. Whereas beforehand, a month ago, 30 days ago, these were unavailable because the whole subscription for 250,000 sets had been accounted for. They've all been spoken for, up until it wasn't. So, Orgulo Azteca, our friend from New York, give me a thumbs up. All right, so thank you, sir. Good to see you. He's one of my veteran guys, viewers. Jim Goudreau, 1245. I would never buy from the U.S. Mint. I only buy in the aftermarket. Then you can assess the true value. Exactly. That's one way of doing it. Let's see. Philip Raimondo. Hopefully I got that one right. Damn chip on one of my piece dollars right on the cheek. Not happy. The other set is fine. They are beautiful and amazing. Just hate the packaging and hate the quality of these for the price. Thanks for what you do. Cheers. That is disappointing. I think one of the biggest messages through this, outside of the fact that they shouldn't do this in 2024, and it kind of like defeats the purpose of doing the super ramp and the promotion and the advertising for this set specifically, because it's reverse proof. And then not delivering on a quality, kind of experience, and it all starts with when you first open up that box and you're like, oh, geez, they're still doing the good old paper cardboard packaging, huh? Is that how we're gonna roll on these, from now to the end of time? It's okay that we keep ramping up the price of these things. This year it's 185, next year it'll be 195, $10. If we did $10 up every single year because of the rising rate of inflation or raw product, raw materials, things like that, then it gets pretty expensive. Because you know what, ladies and gentlemen, the last time I looked, our salaries were not going up. No. So, how are we going to make that up? I wish I made an extra $10 an hour. Oh, I don't work for the man anymore. But damn, it's a lot of work, to do e-commerce and package ships and stuff. So, Swin 848. This is disappointing that it's not a one-off set. I agree. I'm still kind of salty about it. I'm still glad I got hold of one. At least it will be a first-time issue. The Mint has went woke like Bud Light. Yeah. I happily overpaid for something that was to be special. I will not be buying from the U.S. Mint again. Right. Blue Jazz 10,000. I was pissed when I saw these on the 2024 production calendar. The U.S. Mint sure pulled a fast one on us with this release. A very slick, deceitful thing to do. Not cool. I guess you can't even trust the U.S. Mint any longer. Right? I mean, if they really are for the people, don't you think they have a little bit more decorum to say, hey, before you, decide to go all in on these things, just know that this is going to be a static release every year. At the very least, afford us the opportunity to assess it a while back, So one day ago, Ken Lidford, I hope there's some of these names on here are a little tricky. They're available again. I just got the email. Available at noon, 11/14. I wonder for how long. It's funny. Let me go ahead and check on here. Because what they'll do is they'll scrub through all of the transactions, and then the folks that double ordered for the household, they have to kick back one of the orders. So they'll just add it back into the quantity that's available. All right, so it says remind me, which means it's unavailable. All right, Joseph Twill, 1304. It's like trying to pronounce soccer player names or hockey players. My goodness. Speaking of the Mint, they still have some of the Peace and Morgan proofs from the summer sale. People didn't like them. No, nobody. I mean, they were pretty coins too, but they did release them a couple years ago. And this is kind of like what's going to happen. From this point forward, every single year they're going to just continue to release them. They'll still stick with the 400,000 mintage like they did on the Proust. They'll still stick with the 250,000 on these things, and they're not going to sell out. Those ones from over the summer, they're still available. I know they're still available because I saw them the other day. I'm like, man, that's sad. I think it kind of left their brain that promotion for 2021 when they first released it. It was not a good look. People were hating on the Mint for what they did about the pre-sale and then the release and then the garbage quality. It said the Denver minted Morgans were trash, and that's why that true mid-state 70s or whatever they are in graded holders are like $1,200-$1,300 right now. Is because of that. It made it a true rarity, but you have to grade them numismatically for it to happen. The Phil E. Mint Coin Club, Blue Ridge, never do anything under a Democrat government. They are called Democrats for a reason. We are Republican for a reason. All right, a little bit of that in there. Here's why I got quite a bit. Salt H203234. In God we trust, but the U is a V. And we see that a lot. A lot of people are saying, well, what's with the V in trust? Well, back when they produced the peace dollar was actually made with intent because of the war. All right, so they had the whole V for Victory campaign. All right, after it was all said and done, and what they did was when they reproduced, or when they produced rather, the peace dollar design in 1921, as kind of a response, to the Victory campaign during World War One. They went and put a V in the word trust instead of a U for V for victory, and that's kind of like how that happened. Nick's coins. I couldn't agree more. The mint should have been one and done with his set. It is no longer special. The U.S. Mint has dropped the ball this year. I'm willing to bet that these things, when they're out next year, they're going to be hanging around for a while. Silver Freak 4954. They should bring the Type 1 ASC back. That's the Mercanti reverse is what it is, which people do like. They didn't want to see the modified Type 2 reverse on them. David Corder, again, not for me. I don't like him. Okay. Another creator got pure garbage coins and is sending them back. And then we'll do one more. And I also wanted to address one really, really crazy comment on here. Carl Caruso, 4875. I agree with you, brother. Big Brother has been giving it to us minus the KY since the ratification. I reckon the best course of action will ultimately be decided by how many others feel the same way. The market will decide, brother. If everyone pisses on purchasing them next year, maybe they'll take recourse. Having said, if you're locked into a subscription and do not know how it works with the mint, I'm sure it's designed to F the customer with slippery legal jargon. Maybe they turn on eBay, whatnot, etc. Ultimately, I feel your loathing for this sort of BS piece. All right. Thank you, Carl. So yeah, that's the last one there. Again, a lot of people feel very strongly toward that. So let me do this. I actually have to click into the video to grab this one last comment because it's funny. This is not the first time I've heard this before. So Robert Counts, 6698. It was like one of the first things that was typed in there after the video went live. We need to get a petition together to vote Sean as the next director of the United States Mint. Okay. I'm flattered to the very ends of the earth for that, and everybody's like, "I'm down with that. Got my vote." I'm flattered. I don't want that job. I don't want to have to. Number one, I don't want to have to answer to someone. Number two, I don't want an entity to kind of like limit my abilities on what I think would be cool for the hobby, because what's cool for me may not be cool for everyone else. Okay, and then number two, you got to pass all these things through legislation, right? Like the same way that David Ryder did the whole the West Point quarters thing, which I think is the most brilliant thing to come out of the mint in like 50 years. Just from a let's grow this hobbies type standpoint, it's like, let's go ahead and do this. And surprisingly, the powers that be said, yeah, that's cool, let's go ahead and roll with this. I don't want to be put in a position like that of power and then, and not have to deliver. Because in here, I feel like I can deliver, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to shortchange a lot of people. But it's going to be by no fault of my own. It's going to be a default of the overall system in which this works, which is why, folks like David Ryder, who ended up getting ousted, from the U.S. Mint, after his tenure. I mean, it was not a very glamorous send off either. His for all the good that he's done, his lasting legacy, okay, and believe it or not, this sucks. It has to be put this way. Is the U.S. Mint website. During times when the product is hot off the press and you need to buy it, and the damn website crashes on you. That's his lasting legacy, and that's what he's going to be known for. And I don't want to have that kind of like reasoning as to why I didn't successfully do anything and turn around, the U.S. Mint, whatever, and plus I don't play well with others. That's kind of funny. Because I prefer to do all things on my own. I'm a lone wolf out there, in a way, except for the whole educational part of it. It's like, don't be a lone wolf in the education. Be a part of it. But yeah, it's cool, guys, about the whole petition thing. It's just nah. You couldn't pay me enough to do that job. Yeah. Plus, I'm gonna have to pack up my shit and drive all the way across the country just so I could do this job. So that way I'd be miserable about how I'm being like held back from doing some really cool stuff. Yeah, I don't want any of that. I figure I'd just go ahead and talk about it because that's entertainment. So yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to talk about. There are plenty more comments. If you want to go in there and take a look at it, there's a wide range of comments from the good, the bad, the ugly. It just is what it is. I take it all with a grain of salt because, again, my ideals don't necessarily fit everybody's mold. And that's okay. That's the beauty and power of the First Amendment. So, yeah, that's it. That's all I want to talk about. You guys are amazing as usual. Come join me next time for more coin videos. The PCMR is going to drop tomorrow on Thursday. I just been feeling like straight up hot garbage today. I've been going about 12,000 miles on an automobile without an oil change. That's how I feel right now. It's just piss poor performance like in here. So we're gonna double down tomorrow and really hone in on some good stuff. That's it. I'm out of here. You guys take care. Have a great evening, and I shall see you guys on the next coin video. Stay awesome, peeps.